Welcome to Splat & Co tutorials. Today we're going to make happy little Easter eggs. First, I'd like to point out the needles are very sharp. They have barbs on them. You can feel them as you go backwards, and they poke and hurt if they go into your skin. This is what we're going to be making, a lovely felted Easter egg. We start with our fiber. We roll it against the pad. A pad is an important thing to use. As you can see, what I'm doing is I'm actually using the pad as friction to pull the fiber tighter. So I'm rolling it in, tucking it in, making sure that it starts off nice and tight. When I finally get it all rolled together, that's when I can start to needle felt it. But I've already gotten it kind of tight. So here we go. I'm going to grab the needle and start felting away. Needle felting is kind of like life. Little by little, we get further ahead. So don't think about it as trying to get all of the area done all at once. Look at it more like do a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there. Move it all over the place. And as you're moving around, you're going to be shaping the ball into instead of a ball, you're going to be shaping it into an egg. So fat at one end, kind of not so fat at the other. So we just keep on going and going and going. When you're getting close to being done, well, I've got a finished egg already, so I can compare my work. But when you feel like you've gotten it dense enough, then you can start to add in different colors. I chose our dark purple to use as the bottom, and you just pull out a tuft of it and you apply it on. When you're adding the colors, if you want it to be nice and solid, you're going to need a couple of layers possibly. I already know I've been doing this for quite some time, so I know that how much fiber I have to leave or put on. And I also know roughly how much I'm going to have to add on to it after that. Because there's going to be thin areas as well. So you just add more fiber. It's not a big deal. You just keep playing along. One thing I'll mention, as you can see, I've been going over and over the dark purple area. You can see some of the thinner areas that I was talking about. I'm not really concerned about making a straight line. I'm going to be adding the yellow on top. And the line itself is going to be covered up by the blue zigzag line. Here you see that I'm adding the yellow on top, just randomly placing it on top. I'm not even really that concerned about making sure that it's needle felted all that well. I'm just putting it on temporarily, kind of like a placement, we're just tacking it down, kind of like a construction worker just laying things up temporarily. Just lay it out, and then when I start doing the blue zigzag line, that's when I'm going to start to really finish things up. And here we have roughly Similar eggs. They're almost they're almost done. So now I'm going to get ready and start doing the color layup. Now, as you can see, there's already blue string that I've set up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I got that with the yellow. I'm not going to use the yellow, but I'm going to show you how I did it. Basically, I just peel the fiber apart. The fibers are all lined in one direction. So when you peel a side piece off, you get a little bit, and then you stretch it just a little bit. And that's going to pull it into kind of like a string. This is one of the things that I do a lot for our commercial dryer balls, the ones that have patterns on them at any rate. So there I go. You see, it's kind of like the blue, and that's how I make that. Now I just lay up the blue in a zigzag pattern, and away we go. So as you can see, all I'm doing is laying up the stripes. I'm not worried about any of the colors that are underneath that are showing through. I'm just laying it out, getting an idea of where the stripes are going to go. Once I've got the stripes all laid out, then I'm going to start taking color and filling in, covering up the exposed wrong colors. And they're not wrong, they're just, not the colors that I want. As I'm filling in those spots, I'm also finishing up the stripes. So the stripes get finished, the colors get filled in, and I'm also doing the final pass through on the egg itself. So the egg is getting a lot more dense now. The colors are dialing in, and everything's starting to look like an Easter egg. And here we go. The egg is becoming a lot more dense. It's looking a lot more like the other egg that I've had on display. And I'm showing you the pins that are holding that egg up. But there's a thin area, and I want it to be nice and solid. So I just pull a little piece of fiber off and poke it through. And then it's just going to be fine tuning from here on in, really. Just making sure that it's nice and dense. And that's my preference. I like a nice, dense needle felted item. You don't have to have a dense needle felted item. It's all personal preference. All right, it's time for a pro tip. We always recommend when you're needle felting to go straight in with the needle. Don't do any of the bendy things because that breaks the needle. One of the things that you may be seeing me do is that I come in at an angle sometimes. When you're needle felting, always, always, always go straight. Never try to do like, I don't know. You want to keep going straight in and out, in and out. You don't want to move your hand. Once you've gone in, the needle will break. It leaves part of the needle inside of the item that you're working on. But if you watch my hands carefully, you'll notice that sometimes I needle felt, although I'm going straight, I'm needle felting at an angle. That can sometimes push the fiber into where I want it to go. So it's kind of like I'm sculpting the fiber, moving it around, massaging it, and getting it to be exactly the way that I want it to be. And as we're getting close to the end, we're going to start doing some embellishments. I'm not going to go crazy with this Easter egg. We're just going to put a few dots on it. And to make the dots, I take a piece of the purple fiber, break off a few dots into little itty bitty bits, and then I put the dots onto the egg wherever I want them. So I've counted out how many dots I want to make. I make the little itty bitty sections of fiber, and away I go. And that's going to be pretty much it. And there we go. There you have it. A happy little Easter egg. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, I've been M. Scott Alt, and this has been a Splat & Co. tutorial.